Welcome guys, Jay Smith here. Welcome to the video comparison review between i210 and the new kid on the block i230. Quite a few years between these two in irons. i210 was 2018? Summertime 2018, I think. And obviously i230 this week, very soon. So let's go do i210 first. So I've got this in the Project X 6.0 rifle shaft, and I will, because I've got the AFS heads, I'll swap over. So even that's in a KBS, I think it is, I will swap the heads over so it's like for like comparison. And I'll do that when I change the data sets, because I will always remember to do that. Kinda, hopefully. So i210, old kid on the block, it's been around for ages now, but again, ping, generally speaking, they don't replace anything unless they absolutely need to. They're not a great fan of just rolling out new stuff every single year because, well, from Ping's point of view, they're an engineering company first and foremost. They're not a sales company, so they don't really care about, well, they do care, obviously they're a business, they still want to sell golf clubs, but they want to sell something which is, which is considerably better than the previous one. Although the i210, as good as it was, is very difficult to beat. When it comes to looks of the i210, again, it's got that white line up line at the bottom, it's got very, very little offset and a slightly squarer top line, if anything, by the looks of it, than the i230, but blade links are still nice and stubby looking. I was a great fan of i210 when this first released. Yeah, i200 I wasn't a great fan, but the i210 I was, because of one thing over the i200, feel. Now it has got activated elastomer. Ping love using activated elastomer. I've got the pin set here, a Colonial, yes we are, hole 13 at 168 yards. It is over water. And obviously for my video reviews going forward, I am trying to swing a little bit slower so you guys can relate down the lens. If you don't swing at 93 miles an hour with the standard 7-iron, what many people do, but most reviewers do, you can relate to it a bit better. So let's go give this one a hit, because I was always a great fan of the i210. And I tell you what, that's still as solid as ever. Oh. If I could hit a few more shots like that all the time, yeah. What was that, 3mm low, 8mm toe still? That was slightly toey, but the sound is very, very similar to i230. Obviously, i230 I've just done, and the sound is distinctly nice. It was a great, shock, I would say, going from i200 to i210. The buttery feel, like Ping did put on their advertising, to be fair, it was actually pretty good, because considering it's a Ping, and they Ping, generally speaking, do crack a little bit, this was a pleasant surprise. That's a pull. I say a pull, that's absolutely fine, that's the meat of the green. But it's, the feel of it is, I mean, obviously I've used i230, well, yesterday. So the sound, the feel of i230 is very, very fresh. Okay, if I had to be really picky, I'd say at the moment, and I'll hit i230 next, i210 is fractionally clippier, harder, yeah. I mean, we are talking so small differences basically between them in audible noise. But, I mean, yeah, I love i210. I still love i210. Are you going to get any benefits necessarily between them? Again, this is going to be an interesting one. So what I'm going to have to do is, I'll flick over to the i230 now, but to test the forgiveness side of things, and guys obviously stay to the end part of the video where I am going to be testing the forgiveness level between the i210 and i230. I'm going to have to hit these all a bunch of times, all over the face, not just 0mm hill, 5mm low, to see what happens when you do miss-hit it. So let's go flick over to the i230. Let's remember to change data sets and see how the i230 compares to the i210. Right guys, back now with the i230. I have swapped over the shafts and the heads. So I've still got it in the Project X 6.0 rifled one, but obviously now with the 230 head on it. Now there's only difference between these two when it comes to lofts is exactly nothing, but there is a 1 degree in lie. I have got this in the blue, one upright, and I had the i210 in the green, which is 2 upright. So that's basically the only difference between the heads when it comes to specs. Now, obviously the difference between the technology and the 230 is Ping is pushing MOI, 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 resistance to twist, center of gravity lower, further back, all that lot. So basically they're trying to promote a bit more launch and also trying to promote as best they can do a little bit more resistance to the old twisting of the face when you don't quite catch it. Now we've had 3 shots of the i210. We're going to go now and hit some 3 shots, I can't remember now. Anyway, of the i210, we're going to do 230. So down by the golf ball, we have the unmistakable white lineup line down there, which I actually quite like because it does frame the golf ball exceptionally well, and it also allows me to be perpendicular to target and all that idea. It does work really, really well. Love the stubby blade lengths. They continued that between the i210 and i230. Offset minimal, there's not much there. And the top line, if anything, again, I'm being picky here, but I would definitely say that because it looks a bit more rounded and chamfered, the i230 looks a fraction thinner for the old top line police than the i210. But that's basically about it. So I don't think there's going to be much difference when it comes to looks, but we've got more activated elastomer in this one. And that is as soft as lovely. That's just lovely. That's flying as well, boof. Oh, Ping, you make some really, really good eye versions of clubs, you do. So on one shot, I would say, if anything, the i230 is a fraction softer than the i210. Although we are talking about so much fractions, yeah, it's tiny. Again, I'll hit this a billion times, flick between the two, audible differences. But the main thing they're trying to push on this one is resistance to twist. So when you don't quite catch it. Now, that was 1 mil toe, 2 mil high, so that was basically fairly middled. Now, I pulled that one. Just fractionally pull. We'll have to look at the old data on that one to see why it went a little bit left. Hit well. Sounded nice, felt nice, ball's still rolling. That's what happens when you're on Colonial, I guess, rather than the foresight range. That's me, not aiming straight. There you go, face is 0, me 2 left. So that's the reason why it's gone left. But the feel on it is arguably, I would say if I had to be picky between the two, I would say I prefer 230 fractionally. It's just a little bit more of a solid, soft thud. Again, how do you describe sound? But I mean, again, you have got that activated elastomer. They keep on going on about activated. Well, more of it, more activation, softer, all that lot. But it does culminate into a really nice feeling iron. That was me. I haven't caught that one. That's out the bottom slightly. There you go. Made the carry. I'm testing the old forgiveness now. What am I down on there? 5 mil heel, 9 low, and with a 1.5 open face. You've done well. So again, remember guys, these aren't made necessarily for beginners. I mean, you have got your G range when it comes to pings for that, and obviously every manufacturer makes their own, battering ram. But one last one, and then we're going to go on to the proper forgiveness testing, because that's where we're going to see the main differences between these two. Visually, it's very small. Feeling is very small. Arguably, visuals, if you're looking for a small compact and a softer feeling iron, then the i230 just has it. But I mean, oh yeah, that's just lovely. Ping, you've made a lovely, lovely iron in the i230. Out of the two, I think on looks I'd go for 230. Basically, I would do. Again, that's what, 3 mil low, 9 mil heel. That was not buttoned at all. And yeah, it's done exceptionally well, and it feels really, really good. Right, so I'm going to go hit these two, the other heads down there, loads and loads of times. I'm going to be testing this from not just the middle, I'm going to be testing it from all over the face, because obviously guys, with people that are going to be buying this, they're going to be potentially decent-ish players, but you could definitely play this well into the teens and high teens handicap. So let's go hit it off the face, not off the face, but off the toe, heel, high, low, whatever it be, and test between the two, between the i210 and i230, which one performs best. So to the all-important part of the video, where we look at the performance and the forgiveness. the numbers of the i210 and i230 to work out if there is a difference between these two, and if there is, how much of so. So let's go straight away, have a look at the ball data for the i210 and compare it straight up against the 230 straight after that. So on average, ball speed for the i210 is 115.9 miles an hour. We're launching at 19.5, spinning at 6.2. We're going up at peak height 33, descending at 47.9, and carrying 162. Now, that's not quite normal distance for me. Again, guys, I am trying to slow my swing down a little bit so you can appreciate and relate to these reviews a little bit more than watching someone swing at 90 something odd miles an hour, always hitting it further than ever you could dream. Go to i230, i230 straight away. Ball speed 117.7 rather than 115.9. So we've got a 1.8 mile an hour gain. We'll see where it's come from. Launching at 19.6 rather than 19.5, so basically exactly the same. Spinning at 6,000, so we're losing a couple of hundred or so RPM off it. I mean, it's a couple of hundred RPM is not much whatsoever. Peaking height at 34 and descending at 48.2, so it's going up fractionally higher than the i210, and it's also descending slightly steeper than the i210, and it's also carrying, on average, 4 yards further than the i210. So let's have a look at the club head side of things to see if there's a difference there. So if we go to club head speed, first of all, of the i210, 88 miles an hour, efficiency 1.32. Remember, efficiency is basically bang for your buck, smash factor, ball speed for club head speed, that kind of idea. Attack angles 4 degrees down, club path 0.8 from the inside, face to path 0.4 open, lie 0.2 down, loft is 27 degrees, and face impact is 4 mil toe, 6 mil low. If you compare that one straight away to i230, we have 88.3 miles an hour, so 0.3 of a mile an hour gain when it comes to, I'm not a robot, but yeah, 0.3 is close enough. Efficiency is now 1.33 rather than 1.32, so a marginal gain in efficiency. Attack angle is bang on 4 degrees. Club path is 0.3 from the inside and 0.7 open with a lie of 2 degrees down. Loft 26.6 degrees rather than 27. So I managed to de-loft one club 0.4 of a degree more than the other one on a massive data set. So within reason, it's close enough, 0.4 of a degree. Face impact is 4 mil toe, 6 mil low for the i210 against the 5 mil toe, 2 mil low of the i230. So slight differences, 1 mil and 4 mil when it comes to strike differences, not much whatsoever. We'll have a look at the ball and club compare screen so you can have a look at the visual side of the flights and stuff like that. That will give you an idea from that side of things, the differences between the clubs. You can see there that even though club head speeds and launch angles and all the, when it comes to face angles, path angles, attack angles, dynamic loft are very, very similar. And even so, when you look at the face impact screen, the foresight impact screen that you get to see, it makes it look far bigger on that screen than there actually ever is. If you have like 1 millimeter difference, it looks quite a lot. So there's not much on it whatsoever. But if you have a look at the flights on the top, you can actually see there that the i230 does, the red does go slightly higher, and also looking at dispersion rings. Now, I've obviously hit a boatload of shots, a load of them. And dispersion, generally speaking, is mostly me and mostly you down the lens when you hit a golf club. It's your ability to be able to put decent face contacts on, yes, and also decent delivery dynamics to the ball. However, if you do have one golf club which is inherently a little bit more forgiving than the other one, you hit enough shots and you'll start to see slight differences in dispersion rings. So just by going at that one, the i230 is marginally tighter in dispersion. Again, I'd need to hit another 50 shots with each of them. Yeah, but how long will the review go on for? Right, so the all-important forgiveness side, where I've hit the i210 and i230 from all over the face to see how well it performs. Remember, we've got an average carry of the i210 at 162 and an average carry of the i230 at 166. So we'll do the i210s first. We're trying to hit different parts of the face while keeping delivery as close as we can do to normal, and just basically test how well it gets on when you miss it. Like on this one, 86 miles an hour, 85.5, 0.8 from the inside, 1.4 open, so a little baby fade. 9mm low, 2mm toe, so it's 9mm low, basically 11mm away gross from geometric middle. And she's done all right, considering she's launched 18.9, spin at 6.5, so gearing is getting the spin up, which is good, but she's carrying at 156 yards, so 6 yards less than normal, not bad from a low strike. If you then go next one, 85.7, 0.5 from the inside, 0.6 open, so 0-0 delivery, 7mm low, 11mm heel. Now, generally speaking, golf clubs do not like heel strikes, and she's dropped 6 yards, so she hasn't done bad considering not many golf clubs like heel strikes. 84 miles an hour clubhead speed, so slightly slow on this one, 0.6 from the inside, 1.4 close, so a little baby draw. 7mm low, 14mm toe, 21mm away gross from geometric middle. And yes, she has lost now 7 yards, but consider us a slow swing, excuse me, and that's 14mm toe, she's done exceptionally well. 86.4 miles an hour, so dial the speed up a little bit. Remember, I think we're at 88 miles an hour, so he's a couple mile an hour, 1.5 mile an hour slower than on average. 1.7 from the inside, 0.4 closed, little baby draw. 3mm low, 19mm toe. That was very toey. I felt that one, and she's done all right. She's lost, again, 7 yards. 7 yards is not a lot, considering 19mm off the toe. You're going to miss 19mm off the toe, never miss 19mm off the heel. Why? Well, 19mm off the heel is getting very dangerously close to a hosel, and we know exactly where they go. Right, let's go to i230, and first of all we'll start off with an absolute screamer. 88.5 clubhead speed, 1.6 from the inside, 1.4 closed, little baby draw, should be. When you hit it 3mm high, 24mm toe, 24, so 27 gross away from geometric middle. Wow, that... she's dropped 100 to 156 yards from 164, so she has dropped 8 yards, or 2/3 of a club, give or take. But from 24mm toe, remember, these golf clubs here, they're not massive. They're not like the G425 or the soon-to-be 430, or even the 700s of years gone past. These are relatively small, so I tell you what, well done to Ping for getting that G430, i230, sorry, to perform from that far away from middle. Next one, we have 87.4 miles an hour clubhead speed, 0.0 path, face open by 1.1 with a little baby fade, 4mm high, 13mm toe, so a standard slightly duffy 13mm toe. I mean 4mm you probably get away with, but 13mm toe, so over half an inch away from the middle. And she's carried 164, so 2 yards I think off of average, so very well done. Next one is 88.3 miles an hour, 2.9 from the inside, 0.4 closed, little baby draw, should be. But I this one 12mm low, 12mm low on the face. Yeah, that's half an inch low is getting down there, and it's carried 158. So considering obviously we are now losing 8 yards from a half inch low, a thinned strike, she's still launching good. She's still launching 18.8 and spinning at 6.2, so she's doing well. And because of the fact that I had my face basically 0 to a path 2.9 from the inside, it hasn't helped when it comes to 12mm low, because that will try and gear it slightly right as well, and it's missed 8 yards offline, but I don't think that's bad considering. Next one, we'll go to 87.4 miles an hour clubhead speed, 0.9 from the inside, 0.8 closed, good delivery, and then I hit it 12mm low, 6mm heel. and it's lost 9 yards now to 157, but 12mm low 6 heel is not a very nice place to hit it. Again, launched well at 20 degrees and also spun well at 5.5. So again, 1.8 yards offline, you can't complain. Right, last one. We'll go 85.3 miles an hour when it comes to clubhead speed, 0.2 from the inside, 0.4 closed, little baby draw. 8mm low, 12mm heel. Yeah, I'm testing these heel ones out today, and she's done good, really. 152 is not too bad. It is a slow swing at 85 miles an hour rather than the 88, so you're going to get a slight drop off in distance anyway from the slightly slower swing. But 152, if you were to add the 3 mile an hour extra on top of that, you then probably put that onto near on 160, 158, 159. Done exceptionally well from a low heel strike. So let's go quickly to see how it works when you dial both of them up at my normal-ish speed, so you guys who swing a little bit faster can see how they perform. So i210 first of all, 92.2 miles an hour, 1 from the inside, 1.8 open, little baby fade normally. 0mm low, 4mm toe. So the toe has geared the golf club a little bit, or golf ball, so it's straight, and it has ended up 1.7 yards offline, going 172. If you look at the flight, it's going up there. 39 yards in the air is properly up there at 172. So when she's stopping quick at 1.172 as well, because she's descending at 50.4 degrees. If we compare that to an i230 at fast swing, 91.9, so 0.3 of a mile an hour slower, 0.3 from the inside, 0.2 open, 4mm low, 8mm toe, so a worse strike. A considerably worse strike actually than the i210, but it's gone 175, so it's gone a little bit further. The efficiency is better, even though I mishit the i230 more than I did the i210. If you look at the flight there, you'll be able to see that hasn't quite gone up in the air as much as the i210 shot, bearing on, well, I did hit it not quite as well as the i210, but it's outdone it in carry by 3 yards, even though it had a slightly slower swing speed. So yes, the i230 has got a little bit more punch, and the faster you swing, the more punch you'll see from it. It is slightly more forgiving. It is very, very slightly more forgiving. Bear in mind, there's obviously the i210 was very, very good to start with, but yeah, it's my conclusion out of all of these was the fact that if you look at the difference between i210 and i230, they are minimal, really, being honest. Ping have made an absolutely amazing iron i230. The i210 was already very, very good. If you look at the differences, yes, the i230 is slightly nicer feeling, slightly, but again, that's minute, that's very, very marginal. The i230, I can feel on the face where I'm hitting it a bit better. That's feedback. Looks are up to you. When it comes to it, you've got the difference between the i210 has a little bit of more of that to it, bit of cavity, and then the i230 has the cavity kind of, well, yeah, sorted out that way. It's got a badge on it, and you can't see any of the tech inside. Favourites, I don't know. When it comes to that, I like the i210. I especially like the i230. If I had a set of i210s, would I go out and rush out to go buy a set of i230s? No, unless I had money burning in my pocket or I just wanted something new. However, if you're definitely coming into the market and you're looking for a player's iron which has got a boatload of forgiveness, a decent, very decent looks to it, sounds really nice and feels really nice to hit, then by all means put i230 on your list to test, because it is a very forgiving, lovely feeling, lovely looking idea from Ping, and I congratulate them for making something from the i210's perspective to marginally beat it. Marginally. But it was very, very good. So anyway, I hope you liked the video. If you did, click the old like button below. Please, if you could do that, that'd be great, because YouTube likes it, I like it, and yeah, everything. While you're down there, there's a little subscribe button, there's a little red button, and it is free. If you can click that one, that would be great, because obviously it helps the channel. And while you're down there, there is a little bell icon. If you click that little bell icon, ding-a-ling, yeah, click that bell. That's a notification bell. So when I upload another video, you'll get a notification. So hope you're well, and we'll see you again soon.